Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. I've shifted locations again for my temporary recording space just to try to get the best look possible for the video. Because right now I'm trying to mess around with the light system because everywhere I record, the lights aren't quite working as I need. So I'm probably going to start investing in some kind of light system soon to keep try to maximize what I can do best with this. So apologize for the moving around stuff, but hopefully this should work out. So welcome back to the return of my monstrous read-through videos. I picked up the copy of the hardcover recently, and it is absolutely gorgeous so far. So I figured I might as well finish off, the remaining parts of this exceptional series. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go through part three. I do have to apologize that I never was able to post the video for part two. Well, part two of part two because it got corrupted sadly. So that might be something maybe I go back to and read through another time. But yeah, until then, I'll go on to volume three. For that, a few quick updates. So tomorrow, Shonen Jump reactions probably won't be out until late at night, or maybe not till Monday, because that's a holiday here for me. So I might be recording on Monday, because tomorrow I will be going out of town for the day. I don't know when I'll be back, and I don't know if I'll have the energy when I get back to finish recording. So I will release that sometime this week, either tomorrow or Monday. Same with Battle Angel Alita. I am going to start volume 2 of the series sometime this weekend. I'll do the same thing as last time. I'll try to do a couple of chapters from volume 2 and post that this weekend as well. And then upcoming project wise, I am going to be doing a read through of Vinland Saga, because someone recently just went through my old thread and kind of liked a bunch of tweets on there, and it reminded me that I really love this series. And given that the anime has just started coming out, I think there's 3 or 4 episodes out right now, I thought, you know what, I might as well give this series another go and make a video recording of it, because it is really underappreciated, and I do want to kind of get the word out about it so that we can get more support and hopefully boost the sales so the series continues. So look for that probably next week, because I'll have more time off then. But yeah, a few upcoming projects. Just wanted to get that out there. Without further ado, let us start with Monstress chapter 13. And we begin with a flashback to Micah and Tuya caressing each other. And Tuya's like, Micah, she's like, shut up, Tuya. I have some things to tell you, and you're going to listen. And Micah's like, later, please, not now. And Tuya says, you'll regret this. I never have before. Pretending not to hear me is what got you into trouble in the first place. Now it's too late. What do you mean? So as Micah reaches up to caress her face, and she says, Tuya, it turns out she's just having a dream. And she's like, Tuya. And Kippa's like, Miss, wake up, we're in trouble. So she's like, so, has Sarissa finally decided to throw us overboard? Old. I'm just reminded of how much I love Old Tooth's design. Like, buff shark women are just 100% my jam. She's like, she wishes she had. The Blood Queens are after us. 3 ships of the line. Near enough to see their smoke, miss. The captain goes, as promised, Half-Wolf, your crimes have consequences. But even if I toss you to them, I'm guessing they'll still scuttle my ship. And, God. Why can't I remember the cat's name? Cannot quickly remember it. God. Yeah, I don't know. We'll get back to it. The cat goes, Therian queens are not known for their mercy. Micah's like, so we fight. No, we flee. Kip is like, what's Miss Old Tooth doing? He's like, buying us time. So you see Old Tooth going down underwater. And she goes, Old Tooth is the daughter of an ancient blessed by the Wave Empress herself. She knows the sea codes better than anyone alive and were expected. So Old Tooth is gone underwater, grabbing onto the ship's ladder. And she's taking what looks like some kind of French horn with her. And you hear a brute sound. And below the ship you see this giant rock pillar. And a door opens and some light comes out. And then Old Tooth climbs back up and says, the border warden is coming. So I'm just going to quickly show you the page. So you have a giant dragon popping up out of the water, and he goes, halt! Passage denied. And so the guards go, you haven't heard. Passage denied. That ship is carrying a fugitive. You are in violation of the First Treaty of Fair Waters, Stipulation 5, Section 2. Specifically, and I quote, do not cross the fucking border without the fucking permission of the... without the fucking permission of the fucking Pontus government, which you do not fucking have. It's like, Wave Empress, give me patience. The dragon steps over to the ship and goes, Captain, is like, Warden, you have permission to enter Pontus. Dock at Tear Shed. And Old Tooth is like, haha, see how easy that was? The cat's like, which means things are about to get very hard. And that, Tuya, is how I got to Pontus. So we change locations to the Dawn Court. And it's like, I'm told our fleet is hidden in various locations across the Kagra Mountains to make it a harder target for the Federation and its spies. Your ships are more advanced, I've heard, than what the Federation is currently building. I wouldn't know, Baroness. I pay little attention to such things. Modern warfare is so inelegant and brutish. But as my daughter reminds me, I'm old-fashioned. The last time I went into battle is with my own sword and claws. I know that battle, the conquering of Mad Baru, is lore. What you call lore was nothing but a trifling bore. The battles that truly matter are not the ones anyone ever tells tales of. I see. I thought we were supposed to begin negotiations with the warlord present. I've been here for weeks and have barely seen her. So it's the Wolf Queen talking with Tuya as they're both riding their horses. And the Wolf Queen goes, she will be here soon, but I wanted to speak to you first. And Tuya's like, about what, my lady? Micah Half-Wolf, my granddaughter. Oh boy. Tuya's like, I don't think I've ever had the pleasure. And so the Wolf Queen goes, that is the first lie I will permit you, Baroness. The second will have a price. The third, well, will be beyond penalties at that point. A faithless friend is indicative of a catastrophic lack of character, and reflects poorly on the Dust Court and our negotiation. And what does a faithless grandmother reflect? I protected Micah for years. What precisely did you do? You cannot fathom the lengths I went to keep... Oh, shut up. Tuya goes, if you cared, you would have torn apart the known world, defied everyone to find her. You would have lifted her from the fucking ashes that we clawed out of after the war when we were starving and alone. Save your yapping for your underlings, and let's do what we both must be done. And so you see the Baroness... hold on. Oh no, the Warlord. Sorry, the Warlord comes riding in. So then we change locations again to Tear Shed, a refugee camp in Pontus waters. My mother never taught me how to listen for silence. I learned that from you, Tuya. When the world goes silent is just as important as when it speaks. In silence, in stillness, there can be safety or danger. So they've come to a giant port city with the tree growing in the middle and the port around it, with a giant lighthouse growing out behind it. So the monster has been silenced for 2 full weeks since it fed on the crew of the Blood Queen's vessel. It requires sleep after it feeds. The bigger the meal, the longer the sleep. But its silences are growing shorter. Soon, I fear there will be no sleep at all. Only the hunger. No one has ever beaten the Verge. Who says she'll be beat tonight? But look at that girl, and only one arm? Goddess, she's a beast. So you see a rawr and an aye. So you see what looks like a blue Oni woman fighting with the Cyclops. And she goes in and bites her on the shoulder. It looks like they're having a cage match. So you see, Sarissa's informants have told her that the Blood Queens are watching the Pontus sea borders. Yes, I can see their ships from here, as if they think I'd be stupid enough to sail straight for them. We'll have to go over land if the sea isn't an option. And Micah goes, and end up right back where we started in Zamora, trying to cross the wall. Not if we go south through Hykernia. It'll take longer, but my father said they're like the Sith. Leave them alone and they won't bother you. The question, Half-Wolf, is what do you want? I have to return to Theria. The Blood Queens have something I need, but I don't know how to get her from them without dying. Or worse. Okay, the cat's name, if I don't remember what it was, it is going to bug me. Where was it? Sorry, I'll just give me a second here. What the hell was his name? Nope, still have not found it. Oh, hold on, I think I know where to get it. Nope, not here, not here, not here. Hold on. Nope. Hey. Oh, Ren. God, I can't believe I forgot that. Alright. So Ren goes, pardon me, I ordered grilled rat skewers. So the waiter's a hammerhead shark, and he goes, you'll have to eat upstairs. We don't serve cats down here. And Michael's like, you should have mentioned that when he placed his order. Leave it, Half-Wolf. But Master Ren... And he's like, it's good for me to be with other cats for a while, Kippa. We must never forget what we are. So he goes downstairs and he gets his skewers and he's like, as you ordered, sir. So it looks like he's sitting in front of what looks like a communicator. So he picks up the rat skewer, just bites her rat off and starts eating. And he goes, this is Sparrow 2275, over. So he goes, this is Roost 1435. You have been long away. Begin your report, over. The sharp claw and her infection are getting worse. The infection is spreading. Others have noticed, over. The doctor already knows, over. Sparrow 2275, are you still there, over. I'm here, over. The doctor has one more appointment and then he's coming to treat the infection, over. So then Kippa's like, Old Toot said the Jolly Ravager will stay in Pontus waters until Mr. Sazy tells him it's safe to come home. She said it might be never. You should talk to Captain Sarissa, miss. Thank her for everything she did to help us. Micah's like, thank her for following orders? I'd rather spend my time finding a way for us to get out of this refugee camp. It feels too much like places I've been before. So then Micah grabs Kippa's bowl of soup and starts drinking it. Kippa's like, miss, that's mine. And as Micah reaches for her dumplings, she just takes it out of the way. She's like, no. And Micah's like, if you're going to fight me, little fox, we should work on your strength. So then the waiter comes back and he says, a message from a friend. He's waiting at the Poets Cafe for you, down at sea level off Lighthouse Road. And Micah's like, I don't have any. And so the waiter hands her an envelope with a black feather. Kippa's like, miss? And Micah's like, finish your dumplings. Kippa's like, I was born in a refugee camp up north. I don't remember it though. Count yourself lucky. The northern camps were hellish during and after the war. Kippa's like, how is the monster thing? Micah's like, sleeping forever, I hope. Kippa's like, it is? The monster's such a troll, it sneaks one tentacle out from under Micah's robe, and it goes, shh. Then Micah's like, finally. He's like, Corvin, you fucker, I'm surprised you're not dead. It is good evening to you too, Lady Half-Wolf. Come, sit. It's been too long. And we have very little time to discuss how we're going to save your life. Again. Kippa's like, yay! So we change locations again to what looks like an abandoned rail yard. And you see a train which the front is covered in vine leaves. Do you remember when we were children, Resek? How you used to love riding the train? What I remember is how carefully I had to hide myself so no one noticed I wasn't human. But that was just to avoid stares. The stakes are a bit higher now. So you see him and Atina dressed in trench coat and suit. And they go, do you think any of this will matter in the end? Maybe not, but I'd rather die saving lives than dissecting them. So they go into the train cart and someone lets them in with a hurry. It goes, make yourselves comfortable. The Prime Minister will be with you in a moment. So Tina picks up a newspaper article. The title reads, after the massacre of Zamora, the demons ravaged defenseless Federation settlers. The Mother Superior repels sneak attack, wounded but undefeated. So Risa goes, the only thing that travels faster than rumors is lies. And Atina's like, the bitch outsmarted us. It's like, Your Excellency, Lady Atina, Resek, it's good to see you both again. You've met Admiral Brito before, yes? Years ago, during the holidays. I was away at university, but it's a pleasure, Admiral. So again, I'm just going to quickly show you, I've shown what the designs look like, so it's easier than me trying to explain it. So, other side, Admiral and the Queen are here. You see, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. No trouble at all. Gave us time to catch up on the Kumeya's latest lies. Your Mother Superior is nothing if not creative. Her dramatics near the wall have the Senate in arms. All three parties favor sending troops to defend our settlers on the borderlands. What will you do? Give way, of course. In politics, one must be supremely flexible. And Atina's like, but you mustn't give in. The Arcanics will take any troop movement as a provocation. The Mother Superior is a fanatic. She wants to restart. Right now, the Mother Superior has the populace panicked, but no one wants a war. Not really. The people just want to feel safe and believe that their government is behind them. And Reset goes, you will not make anyone safer by giving in to fear. Fear led us into the First War and into the arms of the Kumeya. Fear is the reason that Arcanic children are being dissected by the thousands in chapter houses all across the Federation. Who cares about their safety? And Atina goes, you don't understand how dangerous she is, Your Excellency. She's ruthless enough to murder her own people. She's turned the Kumeya into a cult. They're amassing Lilium. If the public could see those images of those experiments. The Excellency goes, I'll take what you've said under consideration. Unfortunately, I have another appointment. Admiral, if you will. I read your report. The picture you paint is troubling. We believe the Mother Superior is plotting to seize control of the Federation, Admiral Brito. Let us just say there's more work yet to be done. So the Admiral's going, we've received a below-board communication from the Arcanic courts. They wish to reopen negotiation in the hopes of normalizing relations between our nations. No one knows of this but me, the Prime Minister, and a handful of trusted associates. I think you and Resak should attend these negotiations. Resak's like, for what purpose? Intelligence gathering. There are others less likely to be noticed. But Lady Atina has the voice, and you, though a mere Arcanic bastard, were the former commander of an elite harpoon squadron. You are also both tied to the oldest naval family in the Federation. Your perspectives your perspectives are unique, and most of all, you are loyal. Atina's like, I can't just disappear. After Zamora, the Mother Superior will be watching me closely, and then there's my other duties. And Admiral Brito goes, leave the Mother Superior to us. So Tina and Risa exchange a look, and Risa goes, I will not pretend to be a slave again, not for any reason. And the Admiral goes, I did not expect you to do so. The train will stop in half an hour. Transport will be waiting, along with new clothing, identity cards, and money. You'll receive further instructions at that time. So they both take off, and the Admiral watches them go. And then she goes into the Prime Minister's room. And the Prime Minister goes, they have accepted? Of course they have. They're idealistic. There's a young woman who keeps being mentioned in the reports about Zamora. According to our agents, the Mother Superior seems singularly obsessed with her. Do we know who she is? Not yet. Running out of time, Prime Minister. The Navy is still loyal to you, but the Army will move into the borderlands. The generals are spoiling for a fight. You will not be able to stop them. True. Deploy the fleet for the next 6 months. I want the Navy and its commanders and their immediate families securely at sea, away from the bases. Safe from assassins and sabotage. Safe from the Mother Superior. You see, old friend, I can think dramatically too. So you go back to Corvin and Micah and Kippa. And Corvin and Kippa are just sitting there calmly eating their pastry, and Micah's just off to the side sitting there all grumpily. And Corvin goes, even in the roughest, most forgotten places, civility can bloom. That is what I most enjoy most about this coffee shop. Serica Thistler was the most famed pastry chef in all of Katara. When the Khmer destroyed her city, she fled here and made a home in this camp. She could have moved on to the high lanes of Pontus, but didn't. There was a need for comfort in this place, an opportunity to do some good. Just 1 second. And Michael's like, and money to be made. Very little of that, Lady Half-Wolf, but maybe you've been too busy to notice. And Michael's like, I do seem to be very popular these days. Everywhere I go, someone wants a piece of me. And Corvin goes, there's been turmoil in Duskcourt since your escape, and the subsequent realization that your blood is well and truly awake. Corvin or Corvus? Corvin, okay. Yeah, and then I received word last week that you activated the fragments of the mask. And Micah goes, I touched one of the fragments to my face. Nothing much happened. And Corvin goes, much happened. You awakened all 5 pieces like an electric charge running through them, across the known world. It unsettled the dreams of the old ones. Many dark bodings claims that you signaled the beginning of the end of the courts. You also said they prophesied that I would die in Theria. And Corvin's like, perhaps you still will. This is the poison I was supposed to use to kill you. He just slides a vial across the table. And she's like, oh. Oops. Kippa's like, oh, but you couldn't have, Sir Corvin. And he's like, I could have. But the armies of the Federation are amassing, and our numbers are too few. I suspect we'll have need of you, which means you have another task ahead of you. And Micah goes, such as putting together the pieces of the mask. The Blood Queens have one of the fragments. I know that. And will you simply storm the Citadel, Fierce One? No, I think not. Going back to Theria means death or capture for you, and those you care about. If that wasn't the case, you wouldn't be in Tearshed. You would have left already. So you see another interesting character. Again, I'll just quickly point out the new arrival here on this page here. And so she introduces herself as, I am Vin Nem, Royal Engineer of Pontus, Arcanic by way of the Hind Queen, and it is my honor to meet the blood heir of the Shaman Empress. And Michael's like, fuck honor. How do you know where I am? I only just. He's like, you're a rat. She's talking to Corvin, and she goes, you're a rat. You knew what I was the first time we met, even before everything that happened in the Borderlands with the Mother Superior. And he goes, I knew your potential. The Dust Court has been watching you ever since Constantine. So now that information is something you can use to barter, is it? And I'm the currency? Come now, leave the crow alone. He's done us all a great favor. Micah's like, I knew there'd be a price for Pontus giving us harbor. And Corvin's like, you've heard of the Pontus shield, I presume? I have the shield. I have. Oh, that's Kip was like, I have. The shield kept Pontus safe during the war. No ship, no soldier, no weapon could pass through it. My mother said she would have given her left tooth to study it. And so Vin goes, the shield is very old, an artifact of the Shaman Empress. It ran continuously during the war, and for good reasons we shut it down. After the Treaty of Orleans, but now, given current rumblings, Pontus feels it would be best to preemptively activate it. Unfortunately, the shield would only respond to one in whom the blood runs strong. So Micah says, I was recently told that my father was the last descendant of the Shaman Empress. And Vin goes, perhaps he was the last to inherit the eye, but the Shaman Empress had many descendants. While the years may have whittled their numbers, there are still those who can claim her as an ancestor. In almost all of them, however, the blood has thinned to a degree that prevents them from activating her inventions. And Micah's like, who turned on your shield the last time? And Vin goes, our shield master, but he's very old and the process is demanding. And Micah's like, and you think I can activate this thing? And Vin's like, I do. And in return, Pontus would offer you what you clearly seek. Protection, sanctuary, safety. And Corvin's like, home for you and your friends, Lady Halfwolf. And Micah's like, a prison, you mean? Pontus does not double deal. Our offer is true. And what if I say no? You, the fox child, and the cat will immediately be thrown off to your shed. The Blood Queens are waiting for you beyond our borders. Kip almost adorable. He's like, I love shields in case anyone's interested. And Michael's like, that's not much of a choice. And Corvin goes, in case you haven't noticed, Half-Wolf, there's a war coming. At times like these, choices are often in short supply. Pontus will live or die depending on whether they repair their shield. Michael's like, what's in this for you, Crow? And he goes, I wish to help you. Help Pontus. Help the Arcanic cause. So you're a fucking hero, eh? He's like, I want to see my people live. Don't you? And he goes with the curse, Goddess! As the, Zin comes out of Micah's arm. And Vin's like, oh, this is lovely. What a magnificent sight. And the cats are just bowing to it and just in awe. And Zin goes, young fool, we will accept their offer. And Mike is like, oh, now you wake the fuck up. And then when did you decide to be altruistic? Vin's like, compassion requires its own courage. To quote the poets, especially when all others believe you a fool for being kind. And Ren, who's watching from outside, says, fuck, they're really gonna kill me this time. And so you go back to the Water City, and the Blood Queens are having a bath. So the Piers Pontus has chosen sides. Matters not, the half-wolf must come to us eventually. Is it wise, you think, to provoke her? She's not as helpless as I expected. Beloved, leave the pool quickly. Something is amiss. And you see blood streaming, so the Siren Queen swims underwater, and she sees blood coming up from one of the entrances. And she goes, ah! As a spear comes hurtling out and impales her. We have needle, hammer, secure the doors. We won't be here long. An excerpt of a lecture from the esteemed Professor Tam Tam, former first record keeper of the Ishami Temple and learned contemporary of Nimrod Blackclaw. It would be a lie to say that the poets are impartial witnesses to history, though they strive to be exact and sincere, unbiased by resentment and faithful to the truth. Poets, for all their training and blessings from Ubasti, are still, after all, cats. And cats have been known to tell pleasant lies about ourselves, particularly to outsiders. Humans and arcanics, however, are far less willing to record uncomfortable truths, to sit even for a moment with that which is difficult, and so much is erased and forgotten. Consider the fact that the warlord, Sword of the East, had a twin sister, Moriko Half-Wolf, the Blade of Dawn, and the favorite of her mother, the Queen of Wolves. Another missing fact from the arcanic histories: both twins were blessed by the Ancestrals, both chosen to command the arcanic armies as warlords. As the eldest, Moriko was the first blessed and would have made a superior warlord. She was powerful of mind, impossible to fool, and a ruthless strategist. More vitally, Moriko was favored by their mother. The younger sister, however, was not without her merits. She was a great warrior, supremely confident, and her hatred of the humans was legendary. She had one other advantage. She looked arcanic, and tellingly, her older sister did not. It would be simplistic to argue that the younger sister's appearance alone made her more popular with the people of the Dawn Court. It would be downright foolish to say it played no part. Moriko might have had the queen's heart, but her younger sister had their people's. The poet assigned to the court, Arcus Verfar, predicted a dire future in which civil war might break out between the sisters and their supporters. But something else happened instead, something strange and unexpected, the sort of contingency for which a poet must always be prepared. Moriko, ever the scholar, discovered something in one of the Dawn Court's hidden archives. The poets never located the precise document, but it changed the trajectory of Moriko's life. She not only resigned her commission, she abandoned the Dawn Court altogether and began to obsessively search the old ruins of the Shaman Empress. The Queen of Wolves held out hope that Moriko might soon return, but her eldest daughter never again set foot in the Dawn Court. 2 years after she absconded, her sister was named Warlord Sword of the East. So you have the city of Orleans 2 weeks ago. Who is this? I have no idea, but the new character who was just introduced to last chapter, right there, sitting with a bunch of dogs, and I already love her already, reading a book, and there's some bones sitting in front of her little throne area. So we have the city of Orleans 2 weeks ago. You look like shit. I almost died, you fool. It was Moriko Half-Wolf's daughter who struck the blow. All those years ago, the bitch hid from us that her child was an inheritor. She awakened Zin, and I was not prepared. Zin lives. How remarkable. Did our sister brother appear well? Not well. Mortal. Mortal, eh? And still you lost? You always were the weaker one. Well, while you were having your lip split by Sleeping Beauty, the Prime Minister has been meeting with the naval commanders, who are no friends of our beloved order. Politics must wait. I'm going back after the girl and the betrayer. No, you will not. We hew to the plan, or do you wish to unravel all our hard work? We were so close until Constantine, and now the war is once again within our grasp. You are underestimating the threat that Zin and the girl pose. You were not there. Careful, you're sounding a little mortal yourself. I'll hunt the half-wolf. You return north to finesse the Prime Minister on our other project. And for night's sake, eat something. There's a big one on the right. Is old dragon awake? She'll be down soon. She's tending Dreamer. He's weak. Keeps spitting up his meals. So then Destria, who was the Kumeya leader, sends out her little tentacle arms into a prison cell where a man's just like cowering against the wall going, "Demon, demon!" It's like these bodies never suited him well. She goes, Zin appears to have no such trouble with its host. An uncommon accomplishment, I will give it that. So then you see and they go into some kind of mode screaming, "No!" So they go into some kind of trance and they come out of it. And they're like, well, that was unpleasant, but also informative. Old dragon, what was that? The mask was activated. I glimpsed two of the fragments, a girl at sea and the Blood Queen's Intheria. It will take some time to decipher the other places I visioned. The girl is the half-wolf. I told Gull she is a threat. I heard your blather. Your sister brother is right. Go north. Tend to the Federation. We must have this war. Gull Etheria, somehow the Queens have found one of the fragments. Use your Inquisitrix team to fetch it and find Zin. Our plans are ripening. Our mistake before was relying on a single design. We must pursue many ends if we are to be once more. The eye is strong, sister. Beware. Listen to Dreamer, do not play with Zin. My younger sibling is trickier than it looks. Not as nearly as ruthless as I recall despite its crimes. I assure you, I'll be quite fine. So you see that old dragon is actually possessing what looks like a young girl. And Dreamer's just this decrepit looking sick guy with his ribs just showing. Again, just gonna quickly show you ones there. We have damn border warden. I will never understand why the Wave Empress favored Pontus with his kind. Captain, we received a ciphered communique from Port Prime for Queen's eyes only. How can that be? What is it, Captain? My royal sister is dead, assassinated by Cumean Inquisitrixes in her own bath. Her consort is severely wounded. The witches took that ridiculous mask fragment my sister thought would save Theria. Poor Alia, she couldn't even save herself. Goddess, has the war already begun? Our trackers lost the Inquisitrixes, but believed they were heading for Pontus, where the half-wolf is. Captain, years ago your nephew accompanied Moriko Halfwolf on an expedition and was never seen again. Your younger sister was dispatched to bring Moriko's daughter back from the Isle of Bones. She and her entire crew were murdered. And now your older sister is dead, assassinated in her own palace, and at the heart of all these calamities. I'm not stupid, Piatti. Summon the Armada. Captain, are you certain? What about the Pontus Shield? I've been designated Queen Regent. I'm not simply your captain anymore. Call the Armada, tell them to prepare our hulls for invasion. So you have Pontus. Do you remember, Tuya, how all of us slaves fantasized about escaping to Pontus? The shielded city untouched by war, where humans and Arcanics lived together in peace. Safe, whole, fed. A paradise in the bowels of hell. It's more beautiful than I imagined, Tuya. So why did you insist we come here? Child, you have some talent for murder. But when it comes to survival, you are lost at sea. So you see Zin talking to Micah, and he goes, we are here because you cannot fight alone. You cannot survive alone. And Micah's like, you're saying I need allies? And he goes, allies are not without their uses. And you can always eat them when their usefulness is done. So Micah's like, go back to sleep. There's nothing here for you to eat. So you see a gorgeous spread of those was it the Torii gates in Japan, the two pillars, ones with like the curving posts above them. So there's coming up to a giant gate like that, and what looks like some Buddhist temples. And so Zin's like, on shore I spy a temple to the old gods. Those faithful priestesses might be willing to offer themselves in sacrifice. And Vin goes, I fear they would barely recognize you, O Lord of endless shadows. The memories of the devout are sadly very limited. Micah's like, you know what this thing is, and you're not terrified? My dear half-wolf, I reserve actual terror for only the most special of occasions. Loving Vin so far. And then Zin's looking out, and you see another one of the old ancients with a singular eye and what looks like a very long beak kind of tusk and some feathered hands coming out. It's like, perhaps terror will come sooner than you expect. That god, do you see how its eye turns? It feels me here. It watches. Like, so what? The prison is weakening. So Mike asks, do all these old gods hate you as much as the one inside the Mother Superior does? And then Vin's like, the Mother Superior? And Zin's like, perhaps I should never have awakened. And Vin's like, but you are awake and what's done is done. Though I do suggest you continue hiding yourself beneath these robes. Even in the most enlightened of cities, your form might cause some alarm. And Mike goes like, so there's a limit to Edenite acceptance? What a shock. And Kip was like, Mr. Monster, isn't that scary the longer you're around him? I think he might not be so bad deep down, sort of like Miss Micah. And Corvin's like, Cat, what is the old god saying? And Ren's like, I can't understand a word. Kippa's like, you can't? But it's so clear. Corvin's like, what is different about you, I wonder? And she's just like grabbing her lip like this. And then, give you a second here. So Ren steps in between them and he goes, Lord Corvin, such a convenient story. You being sent here to murder the half-wolf and yet deciding not to. What a hero that makes you. Disobeying the dust court for the greater good. And he's like, you doubt me? And Ren's like, to quote the poets, only she who trusts nothing can know real peace. So they're walking through this gorgeous garden, Japanese garden. And he goes, apologies for the lack of... Excuse me a second. So apologies for the lack of an official welcome. I thought you'd rather enter the palace with a certain degree of anonymity. The first counselor will meet us in the shield room. Michael's like, stay in the garden, little fox. And she's like, oh yes. And she goes and just grabs a fruit off the tree and starts eating. It's like, yum. Oh no, these flowers. She grabs a flower. And it's like, these are edible, Mr. Monster, and good for healthy eyes. They grow in the north too. Maybe you could eat them instead of people. And he's like, what a foolish suggestion. And then Kip was just like, you can't eat everyone. And she's given him one of the flowers, he's just looking at it. And so another, it looks like fox lady, says, you little tail. Only sweet-thorn foxes have such fine red tails. Kip was like, you're from the north? And she's like, I'm an altered blade fox. We managed to escape the Pontus before the shield was raised, thank the goddesses. Like, you don't know Nora Karoi, do you? Can't say I do. Is she your mother? My aunt. I don't know if she escaped the slavers. They came after the war was over when there's supposed to be peace. It's like, bastards. Not many escaped from your lands. But if you are looking for family, this is a good place to search. Survivors are pouring into Pontus. Look down here. There are all foxes. So you see what looks like a refugee camp in a little indent, walled-off area. And you see them doling out soup. And the new fox lady says, politicians say the peace is holding, but the refugees arrive every day, telling stories like yours about Federation soldiers crossing the border. The war's already started. If this city falls, I don't know what would happen to our people. Kip was like, can you show me how to get down to that camp? So, alright, I think I am going to stop this portion of the read through here because it's coming up on 45 minutes and I want to keep it these videos about under an hour. So I'm going to stop this recording and get it ready to upload right now, and I'll record a part 2 to this because so I'm going to try to keep it to a part 2, but if it starts going over the 45-minute limit again, I might split this off into 3 parts of the read-through. But yeah, so far, loving. Not a lot happened in Volume 3 compared to 2 so far. Like, there's a lot more setup and kind of reintroduction of the old characters from the first two volumes to kind of set up the final war and set up like the whole final conflict. So I'm looking forward to where that's going to go and what we're going to find out here. So like I said, I will upload this. I already talked about my plans for the other videos. So until next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.